Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Going for Gold from Rico. We have 160 registered guests this morning, and our aim is to make it a very, very worthwhile event for all of you. Firstly, there's some housekeeping. So just before we start, I can tell you that if you prefer to join over the telephone, please select phone call in the audio panel and the dial-in information will be displayed. You may send in questions at any time during the presentations. We'll answer them by email after the end of today's virtual event. And please also note that today's virtual event will be recorded. I'm now going to hand you over to Eef de Ridder, who will take us from here. So over to you, Eef.
Yeah, good morning. And I'm delighted to welcome everybody this morning. My name is Eef de Ridder. I'm the Vice President of the Graphic Communications Group in Rico Europe. And I'm excited to open this webinar, Going for Gold. And it's all about printing beyond CMYK. We will show you today some new ways to help you differentiate your products and services through the use of our fifth color capability, and more importantly, how that can help you really increase your revenue and grow your profits. So if we go to the agenda for today, so after my brief introduction, we will then switch to Steve Palmer in London. Steve is creative director at the leading design agency Paperhead, and it's a viewpoint for him you will really want to hear, I think. We will then move to Andy Campbell of my team. He will provide you with a demonstration of the key capabilities of the Pro C7200X and show you some gold and silver applications. And we will conclude today's event with an expert panel exploring some key issues around digital print enhancement. You can submit questions if you have at any time during the event, but we are not planning to answer them during this webinar for time reasons, but we will get back to you shortly afterwards. And this session will run for about 45 minutes. So let's start. Since before the dawn of human civilization, two naturally occurring metals have been sought and treasured for their beauty, rarity, and the prestige they bestow. Gold and silver have been uniquely prized for millennia, and Tutankhamun's gold mask as well. And ancient Greek and Roman silver coins demonstrate the value of these metals, which still exert a hold over our imaginations in the 21st century. Their allure has not dimmed in any way. And smart marketeers who want to add impact and a premium hour to their communication often turn to these most symbolic of metals. So for the smart print operator, silver and gold offer opportunities, but so does fluorescent, yellow and pink, white, clear gloss and invisible red. Because gold and silver are just the latest additions to the digital print enhancement techniques you can use with Rico sheetfed technology. And they complement existing capabilities that, taken together, provide you with a comprehensive range of high margin business building options that will delight your clients while enhancing your profile and reputation. It's really a new world of opportunity. So some recent research in North America, sponsored by us, entitled Adding Value to Digital Printing, showed how print providers are embracing digital print enhancement. In fact, one of the most important sets of results backing up earlier key point research shows the difference between the size of the premium print service providers charge, that are the blue bars, and what size of premium brand owners expect to be charged. That are the green bars. So you will see from the chart there is quite a gap for some types of digital print enhancement, as much as 8 or 9% for specialty colors such as white, metallic, fluorescent, and for some security applications. So not only is there more money to be made in digital print enhancement that is widely understood, there's also more business. Take a look at this chart, which shows the key attributes for selecting print providers. The top 3 factors are all supporting investing in digital print enhancement capabilities, which can be a smart move, especially given the inherent environmental benefits associated with digital print production. So finally, this chart shows the top 4 benefits that marketeers expect from printing enhancements. It paints a compelling picture of why perhaps gold and silver, even more than any other type of enhancement, will meet the needs of your clients. Premium, stand out, enhance. All words associated with these 2 special metals. So as we look ahead and try to predict what kind of market conditions and demand patterns are going to prevail across Europe in the year ahead, there's one certainty. Times will be challenging, certainly now. So every effort should be made to prepare and future-proof your business, making it more adaptable and resilient. This also includes investing smartly in technologies that satisfy evolving needs and where quick returns are possible, just like digital print enhancement. And the fact that the class-leading 5-color Ricoh Pro C7200X series is now equipped to print using both gold and silver toner means that it's perfectly placed to spearhead a new drive into added value, high margin services and applications for your business. We at Ricoh, we really want to partner with you on this journey. We are committed to bringing transformational innovation to you that will help safeguard your future success. We call it Henkaku, a Japanese word that encapsulates this philosophy. So I want to thank you for your attention to my part of this webinar. And now I'm really delighted to hand over to Steve Palmer. As I said earlier, heads up one of Britain's most creative design and marketing agencies, Paperhead. And Paperhead is really a committed and passionate believer in digital print. And its designers are highly skilled in designing for digital to bring out its full potential, including, of course, the widening range of digital print enhancement techniques and effects that are increasingly available. So welcome, Steve, and over to you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Abe, and thank you for the very kind introduction. Happy Thursday, happy St. Patrick's Day, if there's someone out there that's going to be celebrating with a pint of Guinness later on. As Abe has already introduced, I am Steve, and I have been advising, creating and delivering brand creative and digital solutions for the past 20+ years. I actually spent the mid to late 90s in and around digital and litho print. It's something that I'm very passionate about as a format of communication. And this morning, I'm going to be talking about digital print enhancement from my perspective, from the agency's perspective, sharing some thoughts in relation to the wider marketing communication challenges that are going on currently, and some ideas on the opportunity for the print service providers that are all hopefully attending this morning. Next slide, please, Linda. So print isn't dead, only bad ideas are. It's time to use one's imagination. Recently, LinkedIn's Peter Weinberg presented some interesting marketing trends and revealed a thought-provoking idea. He says that a company that bases its marketing strategy on consensus opinions, such as print is dead, is absolutely destined to fail. If you do exactly what your competitors are doing, i.e. moving exclusively to digital marketing, then by definition, you are losing your competitive advantage. Next slide, please, Linda. We are all in the business of capturing people's attention. And if you're doing it right, you're also grabbing people's imagination and their emotion. The problem is we're in an age of media abundance. There's far too much out there. And combined with the scarcity of finite attention, people's time is poor. It's very difficult to try and cut through. And with the fact that 3% of buyers generally are saying that advertising is relevant to them, I think it's an interesting percentage. 97% of the stuff that's out there potentially is not cutting through, isn't good enough, isn't relevant, isn't time sensitive. Next slide, please, Linda. And yet we are bombarded every single minute with over 17 and probably increasing as I'm speaking now, marketing messages every minute. So if brands and marketers don't adapt, they're at risk of producing more boring, bland, digital and physical landfill content. So why should you care? Because I think there's an opportunity for print service providers to cut through all of this and add value. Next slide, please, Linda. Brands are at a very interesting point of change. Privacy is one of the biggest ones in relation to the last couple of years in particular. And this is an opportunity and a big challenge for brands and marketers as the modern digital ads are heavily reliant on data to automatically optimize. You know, the recent privacy regulations like Apple's iOS updates and the ongoing removal of cookies have all reduced the data that is being used for the AI advertising. But these restrictions on digital advertising and the digital way of communicating and trying to get the brand in front of the consumer and the buyers brings an opportunity, I believe, for the print service provider, specifically where they can communicate and differentiate through an available, creative, innovative technology in print, and what we're going to be discussing today in particular with the 7200. Next slide, please. But there's a funny thing about creativity and innovation. It doesn't usually help you to solve problems unless you change the way that you've actually been working previously. Sometimes that means stopping and not working on the problem. Sometimes it means throwing out the assumptions. Sometimes it means redefining the problem. And sometimes it means you need to change the people that you're working with or working on the actual problem itself. Next slide, please. But what is the goal? Win more clients, increase profits, differentiate. First, you have to start with that. And we all want to win more clients and increase profits and differentiate, surely. But it's not always about tons of advanced planning, highly focused strategic activity and micro-targeted targeting of clearly defined segments. Sometimes you just need to look at partnerships. Next slide, please. Over the past 20+ years, I've held the power of partnerships in high regard. They can increase your ability to gain knowledge, expertise, resources, and to help you make better products and reach a greater audience. The power of the 7200 combined with the technologies from ColourLogic and Touch 7 not only help designers and print service providers to create more dynamic and attention-grabbing material, they remove the guesswork by improving the efficiency and the speed of application. And there's also Ricoh's Business Boost Edge, which I would love to tell you more about today, but we don't have time, so unfortunately, if you want to find out more, please try to speak to one of your local Ricoh operating company to find out some more. Next slide, please, Linda. So Darwin says only the strongest and smartest cats survive, and there is good reason that Jaguar was chosen as our hero to launch the 7200, and remains to be as the innovators at Ricoh expand beyond CMYK with gold and silver. Next slide, please. I know print is highly engaging, but I was pleasantly surprised by these recent stats that the long-term memory encoding of direct mail is 49% stronger than email and 35% stronger than social media advertising, in turn making it more likely to impact and influence future behaviour. Recently, we've also seen some digital response rates from direct mail, so that's starting to increase. We're seeing that the direct mail is actually influencing buyers and activity to go back into a digital contact world. And in fact, it's actually roughly doubled to where they were in 2018. So, for an example, a triggered direct mail, rather than sending huge campaigns, a single piece of mail is printed and shipped on a print on demand basis on certain actions that a reader takes online. One company that my team found in their research was a company called Postcard Mania. Looks like a bit of an innovator in this space, but obviously we're still doing some research on that. It's also worth noting that there's an entire generation of millennial marketeers who have no experience working with direct mail. And they will need to be inspired and educated to help them come up to speed. The thing is, brands and agencies and clients are all trying to get ahead. So it's about conducting the research and the trends, educating your teams, and in turn, your clients, people like myself, and inspire me and inspire them to inspire others. Show off what you can do and ensure that it's actually really quite relevant to what they are trying to achieve themselves within their campaign. Next slide, please, Linda. The way to do this is all about alignment and conjoining. Alignment and conjoin of your team, your strategy, which can sometimes take a logical or illogical shift in mindset. Next slide, please, Linda. One of my favourite, very smart thinkers around this space is Rory Sutherland. And for some reason that particular quote has just come off of there, but hopefully you captured it around being logical and illogical. But here are 4 quick wins. The first is omnichannel, the buzzword for many brands over the last 12 years, plus the customer experience that extends and is accessible to the customers across all brand interactions. What is your client's strategy and how can you add value thinking around that omni-channel type approach? Secondly, is campaign enhancements, an obvious one. Find the niche where you can bring print expertise, material specialism, innovative uses of digital print enhancement, short runs of targeted, personalized, high-value production. And then we start to look at client-centric, simply starting with the client and then working back. And then looking at UX, for taking a leaf out of the pure play digital book, your strategy should be UX. So why not review all the touch points of your business brand and then dial them up or down to find the right fit for your particular business objectives. Next slide, please, Linda. So the good news is you don't have to come up with a totally original idea to differentiate. It's been used many times, in particular in this kind of industry. It's when does 1 + 1 = 3. It's when you take one idea and combine it with a second to create a third idea. The thing is for us is that we believe that success leaves clues. So do your research, do some exploration, and find businesses that have met these challenges and see what they're doing, and then take some ideas from them and see how you can apply it to your business in relation to how you can communicate, how you can get in front of clients. Here are some suppliers in this industry in particular that have created ways to be front of mind for agencies and for brands alike. Next slide, please. So over 130 years ago, a Hull-based paper manufacturer, G.F. Smith, began a 40-year partnership in 1968 with a design consultant by the name of Bill McKay, the chap here on the right-hand side. His growing knowledge of the graphic, fashion and print sectors became a real asset for the company. Seeing the move to stronger and brighter colours, he developed a new paper range. That paper range was called Plan 8, and within a year, creatives started to think about requesting G.F. Smith. It became front of mind, and this continues today. Every agency I visited has a G.F. Smith colour plan book on its shelf, along with Pantone, obviously. Next slide, please. So everyone knows Pantone, and I love some of the stuff that they've done in the last 20 years. In 1999, they launched the Pantone Colour of the Year, which was a very smart move. And then they've continued to innovate and partnership with lots of pop-ups here. We have on the top left is one that they did with Airbnb a couple of years back. We've got Selfridges. They had a pop-up in Oxford Street there, talking about everything yellow in their brand colour. Sephora is bottom left, which is quite an interesting, clever way of actually using the Pantone book in combination with the makeup brand. And then recently, in the last year or so, I think they've actually opened up in Hong Kong with its actual store, the Pantone store. Next slide, please, Linda. And if anyone wasn't sure, this year's colour of the year is Very Perry. Next slide, please. Fujigoni is also another organisation that I've seen and enjoyed how they've got front of mind and in with the creatives to start that conversation very early on in relation to an ideation session before they start to think about what they're going to be doing for the full campaign. It's been decided. So in 2016, they opened a showroom in London, and in 2017, they launched the Fujigoni Design Compendium, which, interestingly enough, Ricoh produced in 2021. I believe using the Fusion Pro technology and lots of fifth color. Next slide, please. So to finish off, my advice to any business coming out of the past 2 years of an abundance of uncertainty are these things. First is thinking like a startup. Focus on the basics, be agile and lean, and find ways to reconnect with your customers. The underlying principle of being lean is only the customer defines value. Use your team to do the exploration, to do the research. Find how you can add value within the omni-channel approach and find your niche of how you can add that value. Revisit your vision as a business and rebuild your team around it, and then refresh your communications and have an excuse to start to show off what you can actually do. Think in days, don't think in months. Use data to explore the trends and discuss with your team and your clients. You're literally a click away from a lot of answers. Print is absolutely, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of my clients are live and kicking, and investment in technology will help you gain an advantage and win more clients. Finally, find powerful partnerships. So I'm going to be handing you back now to John. You're all in for a treat with a demo of the fantastic 7200. Back over to you, John.
Thank you, Steve. Some fascinating insights there. I'm sure you'll all agree with me. The agency perspective is always very interesting. As Steve has said, we will now see a demo of the 5-color Ricoh Pro C 7200X, and that's going to be given by Andy Campbell of Ricoh Europe. He's our Applications and Innovations Manager.
Welcome. I'm delighted to join you today for the Going for Gold webinar. My name's Andy Campbell. I'm the Application and Innovation Manager for Ricoh Europe. I'm now going to take you through some of the unique attributes of the award-winning Ricoh Pro C7200X 5-color production press. Let's start at the feeder end. So as you can see here, we've got 2 paper drawers installed. Both are vacuum fed. We can have up to 3 of these units, so up to 6 high-capacity feeders in line. And on this particular press, we've actually got the extended feed tray option as well, which allows us to run up to 700 millimeter paper, which we can auto duplex. So 6-page A4s, 8-page A5s, they're all possible in one pass through the press. Moving on, let's have a look at the print engine. If we look here, we can see we've got our 4 colors, our process toners, and then here we've got the 5th toner. And currently we've got the gold installed, but you can also have neon pink, neon yellow, a gloss clear, an invisible for security, an invisible red for security. We've also got white, and we've also got silver. It's a very, very easy process for the press operator to change colors. So it's a dry process, there's no wash up, So the press operator just changes the unit here and changes the toner bottle. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes. And also for silver and gold and white, you can actually install that color as a first option. So you could put white down first as a white ink mask, or you could use silver and gold and overprint to create other metallic colors. We also have a wide range of inline finishing available. Here we've got the standard stapler unit with a stacker on the end of it, but we could have a booklet maker, we could have a Watkis or a Duplo or a Plotmatic booklet maker. We can have inline perfect binding, inline wire binding and hole punch. We have a multi-fold unit, so we can do folding inline as well. So it really gives you maximum flexibility for your production, so allow you to run the widest range of applications within your business. So we've had a quick overview of some of the applications, and now we're going to take you through a little bit more detail of some of the unique applications with silver and gold and special colors.
Silver and gold toner has arrived. New and enhanced toner technology allows you to use digital printing to create stunning metallic effects for added dimension in your design on demand. Applications for silver and gold. Weddings. Greetings cards. Gaming. Travel. Certificates. Catalogues. And direct mail. Key benefits. Premium print drives higher margins, up to 400%. Enhanced customer satisfaction with silver and gold. A compelling alternative to specialist substrates. Improves brand reputation. Attracts new work and adds value to existing jobs. A clean and sustainable use of resources. Take new ideas to your clients and increase new business opportunities. Why should you consider silver and gold toner? Expand your services with stronger margins. Compete with other printers more effectively. Respond immediately to specialist colour requests and avoid outsourcing costs. Monetize your business opportunities with the Ricoh Pro C7200X and remain relevant to your customers' changing tastes and demands.
We've just looked at the machine, so now I'm going to take you through in some more detail some of the opportunities for applications using silver and gold on the Ricoh Pro C7200X production press. Some of you may have recently seen our Going for Gold mailer. This was produced on the Ricoh Pro C7200, and we actually printed silver down first, and then with a second pass of CMYK plus gold. And then we had a third pass of spot UV using the Duplo DuSense. Let's have a look at it on the other camera. And you can see here, it's actually very effective, and the silver and gold comes through really, really well. We've actually got gold here in the word golden, and actually this podium here is actually made up using CMY plus silver underneath, so we can create a gold that way as well. And then you can see here we've actually using the solid silver on its own. So it's a really nice combination, and I think very, very effective, and definitely something that would increase response rates. So let's have a look at some of the other application opportunities. One of the nice things is actually wedding stationery. And you can see here a really nice example on the beautiful, luxurious Fedrigoni paper. And we've got one hit of white, and we've also got one hit of gold. It's a very, very simple application to produce, but a very high quality, high value application. Let's just have a look on the other camera. And you can see actually it's very effective, and that gold really has a nice luster to it. So the other thing is greetings cards. And greetings cards, this again, the same paper, but with just one hit of gold on it. And again, it's very simple design, but has a really nice high quality feel to it. You can also combine silver and gold together. So this is really a sort of sample application where we've got on a nice blue paper, we've combined the silver and gold all on one sheet. And again, that could be other colours as well. And another nice example of that on a black paper is this one. You can see, very simple design, but actually very effective. So one of the other things that we can do is actually put the silver or the gold in the first position, so we can overprint the silver or gold in one pass. So in this example here, it's another greetings card, and what we're doing is producing different coloured golds by overprinting using the process colours. So you can see here again, we're creating all these other golds. Effectively, this is a gold down first, and we're creating other coloured golds from it. We can also do the same thing with silver, and one of the things we do is we promote the colour logic system, which is basically a metallic colour communication system, and this is actually the Pro palette, so there's hundreds of metallic silver or pearlescent silver colours that you can produce. And again, this is all done with one pass on the press, so it's a very, very effective, very good system, and basically it allows you to communicate to your customers all of the colours that you can produce using silver plus CMY. Another nice application is gift cards, and these could be silver or gold, and you can see under the camera here, very effective, stands out. You can see that's mostly solid silver, you can see there with a bit of process colour in there, but very, very effective. Business cards is another good one. Everybody likes to differentiate themselves, and here we've got a business card design, and we've used silver and CMY, and we can see we get that nice pearlescent effect, just using a bit of silver underneath the CMY. So this is silver down first, and you can see on the back here we've used silver underneath these process colours. So the other thing that we can do is obviously use the neon yellow and neon pink and white. We have other colours as well, so let's have a quick look at some examples of that. Here we've got an example of the neon pink, and we've used the neon pink actually in the image to highlight the image itself, but also used it as a spot colour. And you can see it's very, very effective. So very good use of neon pink. We can do the same thing with neon yellow. And here we've combined the neon pink with CMY to create these beautiful, bright, bold orange colours, which you could never achieve out of process. And we have another system for that as well from a company called Touch 7. And again, it's a colour communication system, and there's 1,520 colours that you can produce just using CMY plus neon pink or CMY plus neon yellow. And this is available from Ricoh today, and you can see here's all the colours in chromatic order. It makes it very, very easy to show your customers what colours can be achieved on your Ricoh press. So in summary, you can see there's lots of opportunities for enhanced print using silver and gold, but also neon pink and neon yellow and the clear and the white. So really the Ricoh Pro C7200X is a very, very versatile press and allows you to enter into that digital print enhancement market where there's added value, added opportunities. So thank you very much.
We'll now turn to the expert panel session. My name is John Blythe. I'm the Marketing and Communications Manager for Ricoh Europe, and I am joined by Aif and Steve and Andy, all of whom you've already seen, of course.
Hello.
And also by Erwin Busselot, who's, as you can see on the slide, Business Innovation and Solutions Director for Ricoh Europe. Welcome, all of you. Again, good to see you back. And what we're going to do is look at a series of issues that are relevant and interesting around digital print enhancement, and just to get your quick thoughts and views about this area and potentially how print service providers can move into this area and make a real go of it. So I'm going to start with you, Steve, if that's okay. And the first question is, how can you ensure you make good returns in digital print enhancement?
I would say it's about carefully targeting your clients, using the right applications with the right kind of finishes. So understanding, again, as I talked about in my presentation, being customer centric, going back to and understanding as much as you possibly can what your customers' needs are, what's keeping them up at night, what are their challenges, and then finding ways that you can then provide added value around that, and teaching them, educating them and inspiring them with your capabilities.
Yeah, education and inspiration, very important. Andy, the same question to you then. How can you ensure you make good returns in digital print enhancement?
Thanks, John. I think it's very important to act as a consultant rather than just go out and expect to get the order. Really work very closely with the agency like Paper Hat and really understand what it is they're trying to achieve and give them advice on how best to achieve that. Because I think if you help in the creative process, and what that will do is actually simplify the production process as well, so you can then streamline that and remove waste and obviously reduce your costs, etc. And overall, you'll probably end up with a better product. So very much act very much as a consultant and be very close to that design process from the beginning.
Yeah, very good point. Aif, can I turn to you with that question? Can we get your thoughts on it?
Yeah, no, I agree with everything what is said. I just want to add one thing, is that to get the most of return in this investment, the pricing is also really key. So we deliver a premium product with these kind of gold to silver applications, and in my view, we shouldn't be afraid to also ask for a premium price to the end customer. And that's, in my view, also one of the important elements how to get a good return from this.
Yeah, vital point, and we saw that that made in the research as well. Okay, Erwin, welcome. Glad you could join us. What are your thoughts on this issue?
Thank you, John. So, well, first of all, invest appropriately, because it's not only about printing, but of course also about paper finishing. So there are a lot of things that are coming together. So start small and explore the enhancement techniques to the fullest and grow from there. Secondly, I would say try to partner with potential good channels. You heard from Andy that wedding stationery is a good application. You heard from Steve the importance to understand your customer to the fullest. So a tip there that with weddings, maybe you can look in your vicinity for instance, a wedding planner, and explore with the wedding planner all the stationery that they potentially will need, and develop even new applications because of showing there the digital print enhancement techniques. And then last part of that question, a golden tip, if I can use the word again. If you're a Ricoh customer or dealer, please go on Ricoh Business Booster website and download digital print enhancement applications and templates for free. So that's a good tip to start exploring applications if you haven't done so already.
Yeah, really good tip, and good point also about partnerships, which is a point that that Steve made very strongly, didn't he, when he presented. Okay, so let's move on to a different subject. Of course, marketing sales are always going to be key when you're thinking about moving into a new area, and that, of course, applies to digital print enhancement as much, if not even more, than it does about other areas. So how do you go about telling your clients about your new digital print enhancement capabilities? And Erwin, while we're talking to you, perhaps you want to pick up on that one first?
Well, seeing is believing, so I have a lot of samples to give away. And as Andy has shown, one of the best samples is your own business card. So I would cram it full with digital print enhancement techniques. The more, the better, because it's a very good conversation starter and you always have it with you. So secondly, if you can, try to open house events. In Belgium, we call them open door, funny enough, for your customers. Or if that's not possible, try to do site events to your customers to show them your capabilities. And last, of course, thirdly, use the social media to your advantage to reach a broader public on what you're capable of doing with digital print enhancement techniques.
Indeed, and we should never forget social media and its power these days. Brilliant. Yeah, thanks. And Aif, your thoughts on this one?
Oh yeah, well, there are many ways, of course, to create the awareness with your customers, and I think Owen also mentioned several ones. So yeah, I just would like to say, well, do something like we are doing now. You know, it's yeah, a kind of low cost tool, creating these kind of educational webinars, and it really is a way to reach out to a lot of your potential customers. So yeah, educational webinars like this, I think, is a good way to create the awareness with your customers.
Yeah, very much so. Thanks. And Andy, your thoughts on this? How do you tell your clients about your digital print enhancement capabilities?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier on, it's very much take a consultative approach. So I'm your sales team with all of the samples and giveaways that were mentioned by Aif and Erwin, and go in and talk to people like Steve. You know, talk to agencies and brands, and rather than just give them the sample and send it through the post, go in and really talk to them about how it was created, the techniques that were used, etc. Because they want to be informed as well. People like Steve want to go to their clients, you know, with the brands, and actually talk to and discuss with them. So it really is sort of acting as a consultant and really helping the agencies and the designers really understand how to get the best out of it. So really, and there are tools available from Ricoh. We've created a set called Digital Works, you might have seen on my video earlier. So speak to your local sales rep, and we can help you there as well.
Excellent, thanks. So that's the Ricoh perspective on this one. We're talking about clients, obviously. In many cases, a printer's client will be an agency. So, Steve, from your perspective, you know, what would work for you with a printer trying to persuade you to think about using them for digital print enhancement?
I think it's definitely all of the things that have been said already, in particular, as Abe was saying, that these webinars are it's such a quick and easy way. You don't have to make it very long. You make it short, targeted, invite as many people as you possibly can, ask your clients to invite other people that may also be able to benefit from it, and put something on, put on a show and present. The obvious one is to create some interesting DM and send it out to everyone. I mean, the amount of stuff that direct mail, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, direct mail. So, I mean, we used to receive a huge amount way back, 5+ years ago. It's gone down a hell of a lot. But what I'm seeing now is that certain print service providers are starting to pick that back up again and starting to communicate back with something which really their clients really do need and should be using in relation to that omni-channel type approach. So direct mail, use it as an example, show off what you can actually do, and get in front of your clients as much as you can. The last time I looked, even though in the last 20 years everything has changed, in the last 2 years everything has changed again, and the 5 years into the future has been brought forward, but people still buy from people. So get in front of people and talk to them.
Yeah, great point. So lastly then, and to round up, the question is, what is the one thing that is key to making a successful move into digital print enhancement? And let's keep with you, Steve, on that one first.
In my experience, I think it's a mind shift change, mindset change, sometimes culture, which is a bit harder. There's lots of very capable print service providers that we have used over the past and still use now. And you'll find some of them will use the excuse that we're not designers, so we've got no control over it. And that's not correct. That's not the truth of it. The key is to partner up, as I've said previously, and start to think outside of what you have done in the past and start to approach things in a slightly different way. So I think mindset and a kind of culture change is the biggest one.
Yeah, okay. And Andy, I know you've thought about this, so what would you say is the one key thing?
Yeah, I mean, following on from what Steve's saying about a culture change, I think, you know, and I've said before, acting as a consultant, really understand you may not be designers, your printers, and you know, some printers do have design department as well, but really try and inform your sales force of what's out there from a creative point of view, and also learn about some of the tools that are available. Steve mentioned earlier on about ColourLogic and Touch 7, and you can inform your clients about those types of tools that are available out there that help them do their job as well. And really, then you get the best out of the print. So you're working very much, like Steve said, in a partnership. And I think, you know, agencies and designers are always looking for, you know, for support and help and new ideas, because they don't necessarily know everything that's going on out there in the world, and even in design, they don't know all of the tools that are available. So, you know, please go out there and inform them and work with them as a partner.
Yeah, good stuff. Aif, your thought on the one key thing?
Well, if I have to mention one key thing, I think it's train your sales. I talked earlier about premium pricing, which is key for getting a return on the investment. For your sales to be able to do that, they need to be able to talk with confidence about the product, the applications, the added value, using great samples. So training your sales would be, for me, the one thing which would stand out on this.
Yeah, powerful point. Thank you. And Owen, the honor of answering this question, being the last of the panel members to speak, what's your thought then on the one key thing?
Well, in one word, creativity. So like you Brits say, show the full Monty. Don't only show one or two capabilities, but show the full range of digital print enhancement capabilities that you have in-house. And don't forget a digital press. If you can communicate about it directly, is really a marketeer's secret weapon. I've seen that many times in my career. So the only limit is your creativity. So with that, back to you, John.
Okay, thanks. And thanks to all of our panel members. I hope everyone agrees. Some really strong ideas, inspiring, but also practical and pragmatic. So I'd like to think that everyone has taken away at least a couple of ideas that they can think on, act upon, implement within their own businesses. So thank you very much, all of you. More importantly, thanks to everyone who's joined us and participated.